Imagine walking into a room and immediately commanding attention without saying a word. Picture women naturally gravitating toward you, not because you're chasing them, but because something about your presence is magnetically irresistible. What if I told you that every man possesses this power, but 99% are unknowingly sabotaging themselves with one critical mistake? Tonight, I'm going to reveal the ancient psychological principle that separates magnetic men from invisible ones. This isn't about pickup lines or games. This is about rewiring your fundamental approach to attraction, using wisdom that's been hidden in plain sight for over 2,000 years. By the end of this, you'll understand why the harder you try to impress women, the more you repel them. And more importantly, you'll discover the counterintuitive secret that makes women pursue you instead of the other way around. Let me paint you a picture. You meet an incredible woman. She's beautiful, intelligent, everything you've been looking for. What's your first instinct? To show her how much you like her, right? To prove you're worthy of her attention. To demonstrate your value through compliments, gifts, or constant availability. This is the kiss of death. Here's what actually happens in her mind when you do this. You've just communicated that she holds more value than you do. You've positioned yourself as the buyer in a transaction where she's the seller. And nobody desires what they can easily obtain. The ancient Romans had a term for this: dignitas. It meant the inherent worth and respect that comes from self-possession. Roman leaders who possessed dignitas never begged for loyalty. They commanded it through their very presence. When you chase validation, you're surrendering your dignitas. You're telling the world that your self-worth depends on external approval. And women can sense this desperation from a mile away. 2,000 years ago, a slave named Epictetus discovered something profound while chained in Roman captivity. He realized that true freedom isn't about your circumstances. It's about your response to them. This insight became the foundation of one of history's most powerful philosophies, Stoicism. The Stoics understood something that modern men have forgotten. Attraction isn't about what you do for someone else. It's about who you are when nobody's watching. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the ancient world, wrote in his private journal, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He wasn't talking about military conquest or political manipulation. He was talking about the ultimate form of power: self-mastery. When you master yourself, something extraordinary happens. You stop needing external validation because you found something far more valuable: internal validation. And this shift changes everything about how others perceive you. Here's what happens in a woman's brain when she encounters a man who has achieved self-mastery. First, she notices his emotional stability. While other men are reactive, desperate, or trying too hard, he remains calm and centered. This triggers what psychologists call the competence attraction mechanism. Our brains are wired to be drawn to competence because it signals survival value. Second, she experiences what researchers call scarcity bias. Because he's not chasing her, she perceives him as valuable. Think about it. We only chase things that are running away from us. When you stop chasing, you stop running, and suddenly you become the prize. Third, she encounters authentic confidence. Not the fake bravado that comes from trying to impress, but the quiet certainty that comes from knowing your own worth. This type of confidence is incredibly rare and therefore incredibly magnetic. Let me break down the 4 fundamental principles that will transform you from someone who chases to someone who attracts. The first pillar: emotional independence. Most men are emotional hostages to women's reactions. If she smiles, they're euphoric. If she's distant, they're crushed. This emotional dependency is toxic to attraction. A Stoic man maintains emotional equilibrium regardless of external circumstances. He's happy with or without her attention because his happiness comes from within, not from her validation. This doesn't mean being cold or unfeeling. It means being emotionally self-sufficient. When you're not dependent on her moods to determine your own, you become incredibly attractive because you offer stability in an unstable world. The second pillar, outcome independence. Here's a radical concept. Stop caring whether she likes you or not. I know this sounds counterintuitive, but it's the secret to magnetic attraction. When you're attached to a specific outcome, you become needy. You start calculating your words, monitoring her reactions, and adjusting your behavior based on her responses. This makes you predictable and boring. But when you're genuinely indifferent to the outcome, you become authentic. You say what you really think, you act according to your values, and you remain true to yourself regardless of her response. This authenticity is magnetically attractive because it's so rare. The third pillar, purpose-driven living. Nothing is more attractive than a man on a mission. When you have a compelling purpose that drives you, women don't become the center of your universe. They become a pleasant addition to an already fulfilling life. The ancient Stoics believed that every man should have a mission greater than himself. For Marcus Aurelius, it was leading the Roman Empire. For you, it might be building a business, mastering a craft, or serving your community. When you're purpose-driven, you naturally become less available and more valuable. You don't have endless time to text her back immediately or hang out whenever she's free. You have important work to do, and this scarcity makes you more desirable. The fourth pillar, unshakable frame. Your frame is your perspective on reality. It's how you see yourself and your place in the world. A strong frame means you don't let others dictate your reality or shake your confidence. Most men have weak frames. They let women determine their mood, their schedule, and their self-worth. They operate from her reality instead of their own. A Stoic man has an unshakable frame. He knows who he is, what he stands for, and where he's going. He doesn't bend his reality to accommodate someone else's preferences. This psychological strength is incredibly attractive because it provides certainty in an uncertain world. When you embody these four pillars, something remarkable happens. You stop being the man who chases and start being the man who attracts. Let me paint you a picture of how this transformation looks in real life. Instead of immediately responding to her texts, you respond when it's convenient for you. Not because you're playing games, but because you have a life that doesn't revolve around your phone. Instead of constantly complimenting her, you offer genuine appreciation when she earns it. Your compliments become valuable because they're rare and authentic. Instead of being available whenever she wants to hang out, you make time for her when it fits your schedule. Your time becomes precious because it's limited. Instead of seeking her approval, you live according to your own values. Your integrity becomes attractive because it's consistent. The result, she starts chasing you. She begins investing in the relationship. She works to earn your attention instead of you working to earn hers. Here's the beautiful paradox. The less you need her, the more she wants you. The less you chase, the more she pursues. The more complete you are on your own, the more she wants to be part of your life. This isn't manipulation or trickery. It's human psychology. We're naturally drawn to what we can't easily obtain, and we lose interest in what's readily available. When you stop making yourself easily available, you become valuable. When you stop seeking validation, you become confident. When you stop chasing, you become the prize. I need to be honest with you. This transformation isn't easy. It requires you to confront some uncomfortable truths about yourself and make some difficult changes. You'll need to stop seeking external validation and start building internal confidence. You'll need to develop emotional independence and stop letting others dictate your mood. You'll need to find your purpose and pursue it relentlessly. Most men aren't willing to do this work. They'd rather use pickup lines and tricks than transform themselves at a fundamental level. That's why most men remain invisible, while a few become magnetic. If you're serious about this transformation, here's where you start. Begin by examining your current behavior. Are you chasing validation? Are you emotionally dependent on others' reactions? Are you living according to your own values or trying to please everyone else? Next, start building emotional independence. Practice remaining calm and centered regardless of external circumstances. Find your happiness within yourself, not in others' approval. Then, develop your purpose. What drives you? What mission is bigger than temporary pleasure or validation? Pour your energy into that instead of chasing women. Finally, strengthen your frame. Know who you are, what you stand for, and where you're going. Don't let others shake your confidence or dictate your reality. When you master these principles, you won't just become more attractive to women. You'll become more successful in business, more respected by men, and more fulfilled in life. You'll stop being reactive and start being proactive. You'll stop being needy and start being valuable. The ancient Stoics knew that the highest form of power is self-mastery. When you master yourself, you don't need to chase anything or anyone. Instead, everything you desire naturally comes to you. This is the hidden psychology that makes women magnetically drawn to you. It's not about tricks or tactics. It's about becoming the kind of man that others naturally want to be around. Are you ready to stop chasing and start attracting? The choice is yours. But the opportunity won't wait forever. If this resonated with you and you're ready to begin your transformation, subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell. I'll be sharing more ancient wisdom and practical strategies to help you become the magnetic man you were meant to be. Drop a comment below and tell me, what's the one thing you'll start doing differently today? Your journey to magnetic attraction starts now.